Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we sometimes find more drama in financial reports than a reality television show. Today we are diving into NextNRG Incorporated's latest filing that dropped on the 24th of October 2025, and let's just say it has got some interesting developments. Before we dive in, if you are new here and love getting the real story behind corporate filings, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to chat about these insights with other finance fans, hop into our Discord community. The link is in the description below. Alright, so this is a current report on Form 8K, a filing that companies use to announce major news that shareholders should know about right away. For NextNRG, this filing is all about some recent funding and financial agreements that are pretty significant. The main story here revolves around a securities purchase agreement that NextNRG entered into back on the 8th of September 2025 with an investor. Now, this agreement is for selling senior secured convertible notes, which basically means the company is borrowing money, but this debt can be turned into company stock later on. They also agreed to sell warrants, which are like options to buy more stock at a set price in the future. This section details a series of closings or events where this money was actually handed over. The first one, the initial closing, happened on the 8th of September 2025, where they got $2.5 million. But here is a key detail: the company received these proceeds after an original issue discount of 18% on the notes. That means they effectively got 82 cents for every dollar's worth of debt they issued. They had another closing on the 3rd of October where they issued more of these notes and warrants and again received funds. This time they got $1.25 million again with that same 18% original issue discount. And it doesn't stop there. Just a few days before this report filing on the 22nd of October, they had yet another closing involving another $1.25 million again with that 18% discount. So over these closings, they've been actively raising cash by issuing debt that can convert into stock. Now, they mentioned that the shares they might issue from these notes and warrants were registered. This is important because it means they've gone through the process to make it legal for investors to eventually get these shares without running into registration issues down the line. They did this using a shelf registration statement, which basically allows companies to pre-register securities they might want to sell later. This part of the filing gets into the specifics of how this was sold. These notes, warrants, and the shares that might come from them were not registered under the Securities Act of 2017. Instead, they used an exemption called Section C and Rule Woody Nil B, which are typically used for private placements to accredited investors. This means they weren't selling these to just anyone but to investors who are considered financially sophisticated. However, they do clarify that the shares issuable from these notes and warrants have been registered through that previously mentioned shelf registration statement and a prospectus supplement. And at the end, we have the signatures. Michael Farkas, the Chief Executive Officer, signed off on this report on the 24th of October 2025. Alright, let's break down what all of this means. NextNRG is in a phase where they are actively raising capital through debt that can convert into equity. The fact that they're using convertible notes and issuing warrants suggests they might be trying to fund growth or operations with the expectation that their stock price will increase in the future, making that conversion attractive for investors. The consistent 18% original issue discount is a notable detail. It means the company is effectively giving up a significant chunk of the face value of the notes to raise cash. Now, this could indicate they need the money urgently, or that market conditions make it difficult to raise funds on more favorable terms. For investors, this discount can be an initial sweetener, but the real return comes from stock appreciation if and when the notes convert or warrants are exercised. The company's decision to use exemptions for unregistered sales implies a strategy to move quickly rather than go through a full public offering process for these specific transactions. So, what is the story here? NextNRG is positioning itself for something, and it requires significant funding. The company is clearly in a growth or development stage where immediate cash is critical. The use of convertible debt and warrants is a common strategy for companies looking to finance operations or expansion without immediately diluting existing shareholders through a direct stock sale at potentially lower prices. However, the substantial discount on the notes means they are paying a premium in the short term for this capital. It is a high stakes move relying on future growth to make these financial instruments financially sound for both the company and its investors. Looking at the broader picture, NextNRG is a company that seems to be navigating a growth phase with a focus on securing necessary financial resources. The strategy of issuing convertible notes with warrants offers flexibility, but the consistent discount points to either a strong need for immediate cash or less favorable market terms for the company. The key for investors and onlookers will be how effectively NextNRG utilizes this capital to drive actual business growth and increase shareholder value. The future success hinges on their ability to execute their strategy and deliver on the promise that this funding is intended to support. Alright, that is our breakdown of NextNRG's latest filing. What is your take on these funding strategies and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.